Hello and welcome to the October edition of What's Up in the Sky with me, Star Dad, and lead night sky ranger with the Last Green Valley. This month we celebrate Walktober in the Last Green Valley with hundreds of walks, hikes, events, and presentations. This month we present 4 observing opportunities for the general public. 2 will be at the Lebanon Historical Society, which is near the Lebanon Town Green, where we usually hold these events, and 2 will be at the West Thompson Dam. We will be at Lebanon on the 1st, West Thompson on the 2nd, West Thompson on the 15th, and Lebanon on the 16th. Program will start at 7 p.m. and we will be looking through telescopes at the moon, planets, and some deep sky objects. If you have a telescope and you don't know how to set it up, bring it early and I'll help you. Bring the telescope and any manuals that came with it if you have them. Even a modest scope can look at the moon and Jupiter and Saturn. You might even find some deep sky objects with it. Check out the Last Green Valley's website at http://tlgv.org for the latest information before trekking out in case of inclement weather. If we have to, we will post cancellations on their site. Last year we managed to get 3 out of 4 sessions. Let's hope for clear skies. You might also want to check the website and get a copy of the Walktober calendar to find other events you might be interested in. For those that don't know, the Last Green Valley is the area from Norwich, Connecticut up into central Massachusetts and is the watershed area of the Thames River. As I said before, there are lots of interesting walks, historical and spooky. Learn about farms, take a river paddle, visit some fairs. Enjoy where you live. Okay, so now let's get started on what's happening in the sky this month. October begins with the drier months where the sky is relatively free from the huge thermal effects of summer heat. This generally means viewing becomes much better with the ability to discern more detail in the planets. Mercury is now a morning planet and stays low in the southwestern sky. Best viewing will occur after the 15th, where it will be its best for the 2021 year. Venus is now viewable in the early evening hours right after sunset. Although shrouded in clouds, you can still catch its phases as it circles the Sun inside Earth's orbit. On the 29th, it will reach its furthest elongation east of the Sun. It will only be about 7 to 11 degrees above the horizon, so you'll need a good western view. Its phase shifts from 62% on the 1st to around 50% by the 31st. The reason for the about is that because of its clouds, the terminator, that is the line that goes between the light and dark areas, is diffused by the clouds. Thus it can vary a little as to when exactly it's 50%. This month we will look at the Aristoteles crater on the northern and slightly east area of the moon. Aristoteles was formed when a huge impact struck the moon at a slightly off-direct center impact. There are numerous craters around it that are the results of the debris field from the impact. The 11th to the 13th are the times to view the area. The shifting sunlight will highlight various areas surrounding the crater. Then check it out yet again sometime between the 18th and 20th and see what a sun directly illuminating the area reveals. Mars is hiding on the backside of the Sun and is not observable. Jupiter rises in the early evening and sets before midnight. View it when darkness occurs about 90 minutes after sunset for the best contrast. Look for the 4 Galilean moons. These are spread out on a plane. You may not see all 4 if 1 or 2 are on the backside of Jupiter. If you get lucky, you might just spot the shadow of one of the moons passing over the Jovian clouds. Also see if you can spot the Great Red Spot. Jupiter's fast rotation rate of 11 Earth hours means you might be able to see it with a single night's viewing. Saturn rises before Jupiter, and as usual, the rings are breathtakingly beautiful. This summer, the humidity has been so high I have not been able to crank up the power on my telescope. But hopefully seeing will be better. At 100 power you can easily see the rings. At 200 power you should be able to easily discern the Cassini division. That is the dark ring that separates the inner and outer rings. The rings are currently tilted at 19 degrees, making them really stand out. In a few years that will diminish until almost edge on, so enjoy the sight while you can. Also look for Titan at magnitude 8.5. It's the brightest moon. Inside its orbit you might be able to pick out Tethys, Dione, Rhea at 10th magnitude. Also check Saturn for any whitish spots, which are hurricanes on Saturn. It does have these weather events from time to time. Uranus is about 16 degrees west of the Pleiades, the Seven Sisters, in the southern Aries the Ram. At magnitude 5.7, it might be visible without a telescope in dark skies, but even small binoculars will be able to pick it out. If you do use binoculars, try to mount them to a tripod to help steady them. Even a small spotting scope that birders or hunters use can easily substitute. Neptune has passed opposition, but it is still quite bright at magnitude 7.7. Midnight finds it at its highest elevation above the horizon. You'll definitely need a telescope to find it. I hope to be able to spot Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune during our 4 Walktober events. Mars won't really be in a good position to check out until the end of November 2022, with its closest approach being on December the 8th of 2022. October is Orionid meteor shower month, which lasts from October 2nd until November 7th, with the peak on the 21st of October. At the peak, expect about one meteorite every 3 minutes. Orion is a very easy to spot constellation and heralds the approach of winter. As Earth goes through the debris field from comets, Earth's gravity attracts small rice-sized particles that can put on a spectacular show. With dark skies on the 15th and 16th, we should be able to spot a lot of meteors. Set a camera on a tripod and try to capture one. I use a barn door tracker I built, which acts as a telescope mount for my camera. It was inexpensive to build and can result in some great pictures. There are several comets to watch for: 67P Churyumov, Gerasimenko, 4P Phae, C2019 L3 Atlas, and 6P De Arrest. 67 will be near the M1 Crab Nebula and M35 cluster in Auriga. 4P will be about 8 degrees south. Atlas will be 8 degrees to the northwest of 67P, and 6P will be near globular cluster M55 in Sagittarius. Consult the Minor Planet Center for exact locations. Constellation of the month is Aquarius. At 8 p.m., it's located almost due south, about a third of the way up in the sky. The object of the month is Messier number 73, an open cluster of stars. Conveniently, it is located about halfway between Jupiter and Saturn, and a bit higher than the two planets. It is precisely due south at 8 p.m. So that's what's up in the sky for October 2021. Be sure to check out the Last Green Valley's Walktober calendar online or the physical calendar for a lot more events taking place in this, my favorite month.